So, what are we doing with these guys? I can obviously build them up the way they are, and just call it a day. But you know me, I would like to always try something new and different and all that stuff. Building this will be really fun. This one will bring back memories from the last time I built this. And even though I do have the original, I just don't know where some of the parts are. Maybe I'll redo that in a future build. Been thinking some ideas, but that's something we'll talk another time. But this guy is the one that I'm more, well, not both of these guys. I'm trying to figure out what to do with them. And as the months began to pass and me waiting for this to arrive, I was starting to look around and say, you know, what can I do with this guy? What would be the appropriate paint scheme for it? And then I saw something online that I wanted to show you guys. I have this image here that I want to share with you. This was a design by someone by the name of Moneo. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, but everybody call him Mao or Maui. Am I saying it right? Am I saying it wrong? Who knows? But this is his idea. I could easily zoom in and put it on the page so you guys can see it's better. Let me do this way. I love this idea. I really do. Where the back of the wings is dark, but the internal wings is a bright reddish orange type tone. Also, I like the overall look of it not being dark, being the navy, the blue color tone. It's these darker color tones that I really like. That will be striking with that orange in the back end, under the wings. When I saw this, you know what it reminded me of, and unfortunately, I'm not going to pull up a picture of this because I don't want to do that. Has anyone played Homeworld? And I believe it's in Homeworld 2. There's a capital ship, or basically a race known as the Bentusi, and they had this massive ship that it's like a U-shaped ship, but internally you see like the inside of the ship, and it has that orangey, yellow, red type setup, which was beautiful. That is what this reminded me of, and I thought this was gorgeous. Now, this is basically a painting, not like a technical design. Concept, you could say, but it's a beautiful concept. I like it. Let's work with the inside of the wings. So you can tell it's orange, but it's a combination of orange and yellow with a little bit of darkness, maybe a dark red there, here and there. And then the tips have a little dark, like black dot there. When I experimented with the orange on the Barbatos Master Grade that I built last year, it was basically a precursor to this when I saw it. It also reminds me of the design that was on, and you know what, I'm going to get this right now. Hold on a second. It should be within arm's length. Yep, yeah, I do see it. I did a similar fashion like this with this kit. This was the Gamela ships, and I did this tone like that where I painted all that yellow, and then I kind of like covered up an area here and then began swiping up a little bit of orange. This is what's referred to as modulation. I've seen this happen before. I've been wanted to try modulation painting for a long time, and I think I can pull it off with this. So my idea would be, and this can be a subject to change, or maybe you guys can give me more feedback on this. We paint everything on the inside of the feathers yellow. Then give it that hint of orange in the areas. Most like, I don't know if it would be like on the inside where the tips are yellow and the inside are orange. I think that would be a better idea because I do see it right there. I know that the orange in reality, or the dark orange, does not represent that. It actually represents the shadow. I just realized that right now, where when the sun hits it where the light hits in a specific area, and then it forms that shadow. But I'm not going to do that shadowy effect. I'm actually going to do what I'm thinking right now, like the tip's yellow while the inside will be orange. Now, I don't mean that the entire inside will be orange. Most likely, like certain areas, because I know that when you look at the, and I'm going to expand out this. When you look at the actual wings of the Wing Zero, you actually see, you know, a section here. Actually, I'm going to embed this. So you actually see the area here where it goes in. You have a lot of detail there. This is a cool part of it because it has feathers there as well. Sorry, just one second. It has feathers in there as well, or the design features of feathers. So I would have to figure out where I can actually, where the yellow begins and where the orange ends. So that will be multiple fading effects, you could say, internally, inside the wing. So that will be the idea. Going back to the image, on the outside, we have those darker tones there. Now, again, you have two tones all over the wing area. Shading, light reflections, that's a possibility right there. But of course it gives you ideas, and I have ideas for that as well. So I'm actually thinking of doing a two-tone color tone shift with the feathers. As for the body, it will be the color of the dark areas will be identical to what the wings are, while the white, the white will be a combination of white and off-white and maybe gray. I have the red for that, yellow for that, of course, the neon that goes in the chest area. Now, obviously, this design has some different. It's different. It has a different look to it. It's not identical, and I'm not going to scratch build this to make it look like that. I want to paint it in this scheme. I love this paint scheme, and that is what I'm going to use for this build. By the way, that tablet that you see there, that was my my Black Friday Christmas gift. You could say I bought this for myself, the Lenovo Smart Tab M8. Been meaning to get a tablet for a while. Okay, so that is the idea for the new Wing Zero Custom. For this guy, on the other hand, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm thinking of painting it the normal colors, or do a pre-shade. I've been thinking of pre-shading it, but I'm actually considering doing a different color tone. Just haven't thought of it yet. Let's flesh out this one first before we move on to the next guy. So for the orange and yellow, we have orange, which I have abundance of, and yellow. And this, and we're going to be testing this concept idea with spoons. That's a kind of given right there. For the outside, and for everything else, for that's blue, and for the outside of the wings, I'm going to be using my favorite dark color tone. However, this may be a subject to change. Now, Titan's Blue 1 is perfect in all aspect, but I may do a combination of Titan's Blue 1 and black. Maybe I'm thinking of painting everything black, and then certain areas will be covered up or showing something else where I can show this guy off. Thinking about that. Don't know yet for certain. I have another color tone of black called Undo Black, I think it's called. Undo Black or something. We'll figure that out too. For the white, it's clearly obvious. We have cool white, and since there are areas that may be two-tone, the off-white color. I am not going to do what I did with the real grade New Gundam HWS, where I painted the dark color tones with a black base. This will all be using the regular gray gray primer. So that will not be used. The inside, the more of the weaponry, I'm going to be using my favorite light gunmetal. And you know what? Let's talk about that for a second. I'm going to look at that gun. Now, gunmetal will look good on this, but I think it will also look too shiny. The gunmetal is only going to be used for the internal inner frame, so the beam rifle effect may not be a wise idea. Plus, I don't want it to be the same as the blue, because it has to show a different type of contrast. The image, of course, doesn't show any weaponry that he painted, so that could be a subject to change. I may end up using a gray color tone, like maybe I'm thinking of this grayish blue, but still, I don't know yet. Maybe you guys can give me a hint on that as well. Yeah, and I'm going to check out the gun in how it looks like when I assemble it, because I know that it has a lot of areas of sections that could be redone again. Yeah, don't know. I really don't know yet. Oh, that's right. I almost forgot. We also have the shield, which happens to be part of this design as well. So that this yellow part there, I may end up doing the same idea under the wings for the shield. I don't know if that will be a good idea. Now, I did pull out some colors for this guy. Now, I said I did not know, and I'm actually now thinking about it. I mean, I have some red color. I was actually thinking of painting it red originally. So I have like the Char's red color for this, or I pulled out the russet, one of those two guys. I have the regular Phantom Gray color tones, and then I have this color, which I always did like, Air Superiority Blue, but I have very little of it. I also have this light blue. Hell, I may even decide, you know what? I may even decide to make this metallic. I've been thinking about that for a long time. Ever since I've seen, I was, for those of you who don't know, I was at, for somebody who don't, I don't know if anyone knows who she is. Her name is Dokadu. Oh, Dokada. She has a Twitch stream. She does builds on her Twitch channel. She's not on Facebook. I'm sorry, she's not on YouTube. But she's on Facebook. She actually invited me over to join her in a Twitch stream, which was kind of fun. She actually gave me a nice gift, which I showed off before. And she did a great job with her Astray red frame with the flight pack with L-clad paint. She has nailed down the use of L-clad down to a T, far better than I have. So please go to her Twitch channel. I'll put a link here on this channel so you guys can go by and see her channel, and tell her I sent you guys. But she does Twitch's a stream around sometime after 5 o'clock. Say go by and say hi for me. She does some great work. She's been working on the polyball for a while, so pretty good. Now before we move on, there is one last thing: the decals. I have Child the Mecha decals, which of course I can use on this guy. For this one, this is a bit of an issue, because I know that the decals for this will look good on the inside if there's inside decals. Just don't know about the outside decals, as you can see here. Because if I do black, I don't know if the red will show. So we may call audibles on this. I may have to end up buying a different contrast of decals. I know on the inside will look good, the outside it will be a little bit different. That is all subject to change and ideas, but I can't wait to begin building this guy. Both of these guys. And depending on how the situation changed or how I work on this, who knows, I may end up doing something a little bit more different. With that being said, let me stop talking and let me begin building Wing Gundam 0 EW and Verka. Alright, so we're going to begin the assembly of the Wing Gundam 0 EW version Kentucky first. Hold on, I'm just trying to make sure. Actually, I'm going to put that here on this clip. Put it on the board so I know it's there. Such a beautiful box. Actually, just keep it there for now. Stickers here, put that there. Let's take a closer look at some of these parts here. Okay. I can imagine that when I start opening up the original Master Grade Wing 0EW. Well, in all due fairness, I remember building it maybe a year or two after it originally came out. I don't know how I got mine. And I'm talking about the original, not the one that I got from Barnes & Noble. I think I may have ordered it through Gundam from Hobbylink Japan, which reminds me of a story. This is going way back when with Hobbylink Japan. In the early years of them starting up, and they had their online store for the first time. This had to be maybe 2002 or 2003, but I have a feeling it's 2002. There was an anime festival in New York City. Mind you, this is before Comic-Con, before any of that. There was like an anime festival, and it was not at the Jacob Javits Center. I have a feeling Jacob Javits was still being assembled at the time, the construction. But I could be completely utterly wrong. I do remember it was in New York City. It was in one of the, I think the Crown Plaza. And I went there, and I knew that Hobbylink Japan had a table there. Had a table. Now I think I was working, and I remember this clearly. I think I went on a Friday, because that was the only day I had, and I had to work the next day, which was, I believe, a Saturday. It could be Sunday. It could be I went Saturday, and I couldn't go Sunday. Oh, that's right. Okay, that's right. So I said, okay, cool. Go to Saturday. I'll go to the booth and obviously see some Gundam kits and whatever. So I go to Hobbylink Japan's booth, and all I saw was two tables, empty, the banners and the flyers for Hobbylink Japan, and that's it. The original owner, the original owner, who still works with them, who still is the guy in charge of Hobbylink, was there. He looked at me and goes, "Hi, how you doing?" And I said, "Oh, fine, thank you." And I kind of jokingly said, "Wow, the sale must have been great. You're out of stock." And he kindly told me, grudgingly says, "Yeah, all of our Gundam products is stuck in customs at JFK. And I go, what? He says, yes, hopefully, I mean, we will have it here tomorrow. And I said, Dan, I'm not here tomorrow. I gotta work. I think he even offered me a coupon at the time, but I never, I said, no, that's okay, that's okay. But we had a good chat and all that stuff. And quite honestly, I don't remember the chat. It would have been a nice conversation piece. But again, this is before I got into YouTube, before anything. This, again, 2000. Actually, you know what? No, come to think of it, if this came out in 2000, if the other kit came out in 2004, I never would have gotten that kit because they were here around 2002 and 3, and the kit came out in 2004. So, yeah. Now I just thought of that. Look at that. All right, so yeah, this is going to be a lot of parts here. All right, I'm going to take these parts and put these on trays. And we're going to assemble this first before we move on to the original.